This video will be an overview of filling up the cardboard dollhouse with the things that I have made, mostly from things I found here at home. Yes, it started out as just a Walmart cardboard box. As an artist, basket maker, seamstress, and crafter, I have ample supplies and materials all around me. My only expense in making this dollhouse and everything in it was for the cost of the glue, and I used lots of glue. Building and furnishing a dollhouse doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. I have done it for probably less than $30, and it was a very fun project for me. When I was a child, I attempted to make a dollhouse out of a cardboard box, but I didn't have all the tools and materials that I have access to today. Nor did I have the experience and skill set back then, just a desire. So, as a senior adult, I'm reliving my childhood through this little project. I made it as a gift for some children of a friend of mine. My idea for this project was to recreate a typical New England home from the 1970s, the period in which I grew up. I'm from New England. I grew up in Maine, and my home style preferences are the New England homes with the steep pitched roofs. There's one house in particular that I was thinking of when I fashioned this house. There was a woman who was very near and dear to me. She was like a grandmother to us. She was the grandmother of my childhood best friend, Yvonne. We called the woman Pa. I used to love spending nights in Pa's house with my best friend in one of the 5 bedrooms upstairs. Sometimes we would sleep in different rooms. In the morning, we would have buttered toast on homemade bread, the very butter we helped Pa churn on Saturday mornings. Yvonne and I would often be playing games on the living room floor while Pa sat by the fireplace in her rocking chair. She would be knitting or crocheting something. She was always doing things for other people, a true inspiration to me. Sometimes she would make tarts for us from the berries we had picked that day. This home takes me back to simpler days and fun memories. I hope you enjoy this project. I hope you will follow along as I fill up this house to make it a livable place for the doll family that I will also create that shall live in this dollhouse home. going to work on making the master bed for the master bedroom, and I want to style it to match this design of this dresser that I did in my last video. Woodworking projects. I used a sanding block for the straight sides to be sure that I had smooth, flat edges. Having various grades of sandpaper is also helpful. Use the finer paper for a smoother finish. The larger the number, the finer or smoother the sand. The dollhouse I'm currently working on was thrown together without a plan from the beginning, so the rooms are quite small. My next house will have a better plan. This dollhouse is my learning one, where I will make all my mistakes so my next one will be perfected. I dug into my scrap bags, where I keep all the small pieces of wood from previous projects, to find a short square dowel left over from making the stair rail. I always save my scraps. I managed to cut 2 legs for the bed. I wanted to have a section removed so the sideboards actually rest on it for support. I had to place some scrap wood between in the gap so that I could clamp it without bending or warping any of the boards. Another reason to save your scraps. Here is a good look at the completed bed frame minus the slat boards. I used a cheap brush to add the stain. I washed the brush with paint thinner after I was finished staining so that I could use the brush again. This brush is reserved for dirty jobs like staining only. I keep it in a separate place. But here are some things I have learned. To see how I made the bedding, see the previous video, Making Bed Dressings for Dollhouses. You'll find it on my playlist, Dollhouse Creations. Continuing my plan of making things out of materials that I already had on hand and recycling materials to keep my cost low, I made 2 beds from an iPhone box. The headboards have a gentle, tough design. I say gentle because they do not have deep impressions. I did save some of the foam balls to be used as filler for small pillows because I'm thinking they might make good filler for pillows that would give the pillows kind of a natural look in the way that they would move. I then covered each piece with paper towels to prevent the balls of styrofoam from coming off and to reduce the mess while working with the parts. Each part is wrapped up pretty much like a present. I used tacky glue as an all-purpose glue, which is my favorite glue for all of my craft projects, including card making. The paper towel easily conforms to the blocks. The wet glue prevents the paper from adding too much bulk to the pieces, as long as you fold it neatly and press it good. I did not put legs on the children's chairs and sofa because I want to keep them a low profile so that the kids can fit on them. I mean, the little kids, their feet don't touch the floor, but the medium-sized child, his feet touches the floor, and so it works for the kids. The seam should end up going straight down the corner when done correctly. A child-sized chair and a child love seat, and put a kid on it. hope you got some help or perhaps some inspiration from this video. Thanks for watching.